So this is a quick video on using the slopes routine. This came from a customer today who had some questions about generating basically some data in the field. They didn't have a model yet. They had their base set up and they had done a localization, but they basically had a pretty much a blank job site out there, no data in the controller. They did have a couple of building offset points that we're going to look at. I'm going to be using version 6.70. There's a few different ways you can do this routine, but we'll just jump into it here. They had nothing in the controller, nothing on the job site. There were a few points out there, some stakes out there for some building offsets. So they had a design building slab of 65 foot wide by 125 foot long. These would be like a 10 and a 20-foot offset. So you have a building corner right here on the south end of it and a building corner somewhere right here. So this would be a 10 and a 20 offset as well. If I was going to do this routine, I do like some of the slopes application functionality, particularly in this latest version. Again, it's a 6.70. I think we're on 6.80 now. But if you go into Home and you go into sketching, if we were out there in the field and these were stakes in the field on the ground and I wanted to work off of them, I would go into measure and I would take a shot on them, and a shot on that one, and a shot on that one, and a shot on that one, kind of like I've got shown here. Then I'd go into sketching and I would pick this point. It tells you to select a start point. You can pick this one right here. This is on the simulator, so everything's kind of facing due north. It's just the way that it works on here. But if your job was skewed in a different direction, it would look a little bit different here. But you want to go into sketching, pick on your first point. It brings up your point palette. The next thing I would do is I would click on my toolbox and I would hit rotate pilot point or rotate point pilot. And I'm going to click on my point that I want to look towards over here. Just like a backside. Think of it kind of like a setup and backside or Kogo function. So that's just your azimuth basically there. We're going to hit check. So this is basically our 0 here. So when it says 0 degrees, we're looking at 0 degrees facing our point right there from here. I would go from that point and I would go out 10 feet. So we're going to keep it on 0. We're going to change this to 10 feet. That's our horizontal distance. I'm not going to draw a line here. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to make a code right here. And I'm going to make it pad. Say it's like a building pad. So it's important to code your points. This down here, we're going to put in basically our elevation for our point. So if this pad needed to be at 1,000, just for simplicity, we'll put it on 1,000. It's going to be our finished floor elevation, 1,000.00. So it's going to go out 10 feet at that angle. It's going to pop a point there. It's going to give it a code, a pad. We're not drawing a line. We're only going one time. Hit check. And I'm going to flip it to go north here. Because remember, these were our offsets. So we went out our 10 foot. That's our true southwest building corner. We're going to go north. So you can click on any of these lines, but we're going up that way. We're going to go a distance of 125 feet this time. So 125. I'm not drawing any lines yet. You can if you want to, but it's going to be 1,000.00 as well. And it shows you where it's going to put it. So hit check. We'll flip it this way. We're going to go over 65. Hit check again. And we're going to go back down. We're going to go 125 again. Check. So we got our 4 points there. If you want to get this point palette off the screen here, you can do so a couple ways. One of the easiest ways, hit toolbox and just hit start point again. And it kind of gets rid of it. If you go into 3D mode, you can see your points that we have generated. So 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Click your north there to go back into plan view. So we got our four corners there. If you go back into home and you go into slopes right here, this is a cool tool or a cool application. It says select a point, a line, or an arc for the slope. So you got some options here. I'm going to connect all these points with a line in one shot by doing toolbox and connect points. So we'll start down here at the bottom left, pick this guy, that one, that one, that one, and that one. When we hit check, it brings you up a whole new little sidebar menu. I'll put all these on 0 for right now, just so you can kind of start with a clean slate. It's just got some data in there from previously. So we got zeros. This is where you make everything happen right here. So we've drawn our line. If you want to just go from your 3D polyline right here that you generated that goes through your points for your building slab, and you want to slope it out at a 1% that way and that way and that way and that way, or we'll make it at a 25% just so you can show it. The principle's the same, but you can put your percent slope in here. You can aim it up or down if you want it to flow, away from it, downhill if you want it to go uphill. You can also flip-flop the direction of your slope. So I'll put a little bit of data in here so you can see what I mean. We're going to make this slope pretty steep just so it's visually easy. 25%. This is asking how far you want to go out at 25%. So you can see a little orange line there. That's your horizontal distance. So if you want to go out at 25% at, say, 100 feet or 200 feet or 500 or whatever, that's where you put it in there. I would just make sure that if I was kind of doing this on the fly and I was sloping this away from this pad and it's going to basically hit grade out here somewhere at a variable distance, I would make sure this number goes out further than my tie-in point. That way you got a true clean model all the way till you hit your catch point on your existing grade around the perimeter here. So we'll do that, 100 feet. I'm going to hit this button right here because I drew the line going clockwise and it's got the slope going inwards. If you hit that, you'll notice that it goes the other direction. So that's sloping inside, which you can't really see anything. Hit that button and it says we're going from here and we're going out the other direction. We're looking at it in plan view, so you can't see a whole lot right there, but if we hit our little rotation button and we go into 3D view, this makes it a little bit cleaner and you can see what you got going on there. So pretty straightforward on this line. And the second line, what I was saying about this here and this here, if you go an uphill, you got it sloping uphill. Downhill, we're sloping away from our pad now, which is what you would be doing, of course. So 25%, it goes at 100 feet at it's going downhill. This third line and fourth line, this is for if you want to start your slope data at an offset. So if you really wanted to go out a foot or 2 feet or 3 feet or 4 foot or 5 foot and then start your slope out, that's where you put in your horizontal offset. That's what this is, and this is your vertical offset. So let's just say you wanted to go out, I don't know, 5 feet. You can change this to 5 feet, and I'm going to hit this button again so it does the deal. So it goes out level from your pad right here, your 3D polyline, out 5 feet, and then it slopes then it starts your slope data. So if you want to also go down a certain amount, you would do that on line 4 right here. So if you wanted to go out and then down an amount and then start your 25% slope at however far, that's where you do it. So let's just put a pretty big value here so it makes it clear. We're going to put in 5 feet negative. You can see it drops at 5 feet. So we're going basically 5 feet, down 5 feet, and then it starts your, it's where your hinge point starts basically at the top of your slope there, and it goes out with your respective slope data. It's not likely you're going to be doing that, but you can change this however you want to. For the particular situation today, I believe they wanted to go basically come right off here, go down 11 inches and out at 1%. But you can put your slope data in here as you want to. If you don't want the offsets in here, you can go back to 0, go back to 0, and it's going to come right off the edge right here. Boom, 25%. So we got our slope data in there. Hit the check button. It goes into telling you stuff if you're actually wanting to slope that data kind of on the fly. You can go into some stuff here, and that ain't really what we're wanting to do. So we'll stick him over here for right now. So we hit the check button. Here's the other cool thing, or the main thing I want to show you. This is mainly for putting into a bulldozer so they can slap it in the bulldozer, go out here and grade all this out. Hit the toolbox and hit slope lines and model. And what that does, it brings you up kind of another little sub menu here. You got 2 guys here, and you got this, this, and this. I'm going to break these down. This is basically your segments. This right here is your spacing for pretty much your cross sections, where it's how often it's going to cut this slope model. So I'm going to put it on 5. That means it's going to put us a line there every 5 feet, starting from our deal every 5 feet along through here. You can see them. It does the same thing out here. Now, if you want to actually make a model, an actual surface for this, that is going to be this right here. So off, on, we're going to turn it on. I'm going to flip this thing back in plan view here so you can look at it up here on one of these corners. So it puts these points every 5 feet. You know what, I'm going to choose 4 feet just so it makes it a little bit clearer here, because 65 is divisible by 5, but not 4. So it puts your points every 4 feet, but that's not necessarily going to make it land on your corner points here. So you can see it's kicking one off there every 4 feet and going straight out with your 3D slope lines. But if you want to catch your corner points, we can hit this, and it puts your corner points out here. It also puts them on the corners right here. So yeah, you don't got them, you do got them. This guy right here, this is going to provide some additional basically break lines. Bam. So it goes off your corners, and it's going to spit one out on the corner. If this is actually a curve, of course we got a 90 degrees right here, but if it comes up and it goes around a curve around through here, it's going to put a whole bunch of additional break lines through there, kind of like this one right here. So anyhow, all those got a particular use, and it's basically, you can kind of see how things are shaping up, coming straight off here at whatever we had for our slope, 25%, 25%, and it spits one out here on your diagonal on your corner. So you got your corner grades right there. If you hit the check button right here, it will let you finalize an XML file, so you can use it for a we can make a surface, call it a temp drain or whatever, call it whatever it makes sense to you. And there it is. So you got your 3D surface right there. You can of course use that in cut and fill if you want to with your rover here. And you can use it also in the actual slope routine. I ain't going to go into what all this data is right here. This is mainly for generating it, put it in a dozer, and exporting it so they can come out here and get their stone kind of draining away from the slab before the rain comes in. So home, cut and fill, there you are. Design grade, existing grade, offset. We got a fill of 180 feet, so we're not doing great. If you want to export that file, you can do so. And home, export. We got it on data. We're going to scroll down here to our reference model we just made, temp drain. Click on that guy, wherever you want to send it to. Internal memory, you can send it out to Connex if you want to, or you can put on a USB stick. If your machine happens to have Connex on it, you can just grab it, send it to Connex, and have the dozer import it right there on the fly without doing anything with a USB stick. Or you can choose a USB stick and choose copy, hit check, and send it out. It's not supported on here, but that is the deal. Hope that helps you out. Pretty slick little routine. Again, that's just all coming off of some points there in the field that you can walk up on and see with your offsets. If you don't have those and you kind of got an idea where you want to actually put the building pad or whatever, you can just go out there and do measure and do the same thing. You can store a point right here, measure, and you can store one over here if it happens to be aligned this way, and you can do the exact same routine and build your deal there. So that's one way to do it. I'll show you another one, and hope that's useful to you. If you guys got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks.